Most of the time when people ask me about investing, they're asking me for information on real estate I don't even know why some people have asked me about like stock, investing in stocks and stuff, because that's not really my bag. But when I think about investing, it's all about value. And it's about not just putting money, but putting resources in a place that is going to increase in value. And in my very humble opinion, I think that the number one form of investing that you can make isn't real estate. It's not, trading stock options, it's not FanDuel. The best investment that you can make is into yourself, right? Because if you sit alone in a room, how much value can you create, right? If you put work towards any endeavor, whether it's an athletic career or professional career, the level of value that you can bring to the table is gonna determine what you can leave that table with. And so, self-investment to me is any time that you are making an attempt, right? Just the effort to increase your own value. Developing yourself always starts with clarity on who you want to develop into being, right? There's no GPS that you can set without putting the address in, like, hey, this is where I'm trying to go. So thinking about investing into yourself should really begin with you investing time and really getting crystal clear on what you need to develop, right? Like, who are you looking to become? And that's the beginning of everything is, okay, what do I want to do? Who do I want to be? Once you know that, now you can get the equipment or the skills needed to do what you want to do, right? Or you can go get the information, knowledge, experience, reputation in order to be who you want to be. And so if you're looking to invest in yourself, first think about it from a place of self-development. Develop a concept of who that self is going to be. Once you're clear on who you want to be, now it's all about establishing the character, right? It's all about establishing that identity. And what that's going to do is that's going to give you a baseline from which you can become confident, right? It's going to give you a stronger sense of self because it's going to elevate your self-esteem. Just having direction is something as humans that we all need, right? And we can get that direction from a lot of places. We can get it through the certainty of a career field, right? Like in the military, or the certainty of a learning path, like going to college, or the certainty of a relationship by getting married. These are all things that give us a baseline from which we can create confidence, character, and ultimately self-esteem. And I think it's extremely important for us to make sure that that character is self-directed, right? That is something that we've identified intrinsically that we truly want for ourselves. Confidence is all about competence. And so self-investment, right? Investing time, resources, energy into who you want to be is what's going to, over time, make you better at actually being that person, right? You begin to accumulate the skills. You may begin to accumulate, the finances necessary to do those things that you envision. And as you go down that path, you go from a place of being kind of unconsciously incompetent, not really knowing what you want or what you need, right? To go into a place of conscious competence and unconscious competence, where now it's a habit, now it's what you do, now it's not who you want to be, now it is legitimately who you are. And that's the path, right? As you invest into yourself, invest into that position that you want to be in, over time, you'll become more confident, not out of a stronger will or stronger belief, but legitimately because your will and your belief are based on a solid foundation of investment that you made, and that value itself has went up. Now that you have been able to elevate that self-concept, right? Create that self-esteem, create that intrinsic value, this is when the results come in. And that value is reflected outside, right? In the world of self-investment, it's extremely important not to base your investments on other people, right? Or any individual circumstance. A lot of times people will get into a job or a career field originally thinking that it's a means to an end, right? Like, I'm gonna go through this in order to get to this. But while in that seat, instead of applying themselves fully to developing, they become comfortable, they become complacent. We do just enough, right, to fulfill that role and lose sight of the fact that the reason we're in that role was to improve and become a better person, become more valuable. And so it's really important not to base your level of investment on the level of value that others are giving to you, but to invest in yourself at the level that you want to be seen at all times. Just like going to a gym, you're not going to see the results, the first day, the first week after you go to the gym. This is something that's going to happen over time. In the same vein, if you go to the gym and you only work on, your upper body, and you don't work on your lower body, you're going to be unbalanced, right? You're not going to maximize your potential. So when it comes to self-investment, it's very important to understand that, this isn't just about putting your money where your mouth is, right? This is about putting your thoughts and your time and your intention into a certain place. And that's what's going to elevate your value. It's all about having this intrinsic source that you're not relying on an external source to be seen as valuable, right? You got this intrinsic source of value that is palpable and that others can see and feel. So it's important to not just invest into, even your thoughts, your career field, your finances. You got to invest into your body, right? You got to invest into your relationships. You got to invest into your ability to focus. In today's world, right, we've got so many influences impacting us on the regular, and our ability to separate and create proprietary thought has never been more valuable than now. Some examples of how you can invest into yourself for almost free, right, are things like meditation, right? Being able to separate from external information and sit with your own thoughts and process those thoughts and allow them to move and not hold you stuck in a certain position. That's gonna open the doors for you to, create a concept that is worth pursuing, right? Instead of being frozen in maybe the inertia or momentum of your past. One of the other areas is our nutrition, right? Like, once you see yourself as a vehicle, right, and you understand that you want to elevate the value of that vehicle, you understand you got to feed that vehicle the right type of fuel. You're not going to buy a Lamborghini and then just put unleaded gas into it. And so once you elevate that self-concept, that's when you really, it's not something where you're going to just have to go on diets and deny yourself. You're really going to see yourself as being who you are by eating healthy and looking for things and hobbies that can extend the longevity of your life. Because once you see yourself as valuable, you're going to naturally want to be able to provide that value and be that value for as long as possible. By developing a strong muscle of self-investment, what you're going to do is you're going to create the type of intentionality that can shape the world around you. We are all products of our environment to some degree, but we alone have the ability to control that environment. Even the areas that are outside of our control, we get to control how we process and what we allow in, right? And so having a certainty of character to where you're the rock and not the waves is gonna allow you to create a center of gravity, if you will. It's gonna allow you to become a source of certainty for others, because they know, oh, okay, she knows who she is and we know that we can depend on her, right? He knows where he's going, and so we know what we can do and what we can't do, right? It's gonna allow you to, without even saying a word, show people how to move with you by creating a clear picture of the character that you want to have, and then putting in the effort, putting in the time, being dedicated to actually becoming that person. That's going to lead to having a fulfilling life, right? You're not going to look for external validation, right? You're going to look at, who do I want to be, and am I pursuing that? And if you are making progress, you're going to understand, I'm elite, right? I'm being elite. I don't care what anybody says. I'm hitting my marks, and that's success. In summary, self-investment is all about creating value internally, right? Sourcing the foundation of that value from your own will, right? Your own beliefs, your own desires, not what anyone else has for you, And then investing your time, investing your resources into actually pursuing those things. That's what self-investment is all about. And along the way, yes, you're gonna invest into other things, right? You might invest into books, you might invest into courses, you might invest into a car, you might invest into a chair that you're gonna work in, right? Things to get you from A to B. But who you decided to be is what's gonna determine like all those other investments. It's gonna determine your commitments. It's gonna determine what you're truly loyal to. And so getting clear on the self that you wanna be loyal to and investing into that self is gonna allow you to become an incrementally more profitable investor into all other areas of your life.